Alright, just doing an audio check. See if it works. Alright, just doing an audio check. Alright, does it work? So, we're gonna kinda leave off is we're just gonna be continuing on with the cafe menu they're gonna have us make. So we're in basic CSS in the new module. So we're gonna kind of finish this up, and basically we're at this point we're gonna try to get up to here, and then we're gonna kind of go back into programming a little bit. So yeah, let's just get into it. All right. So let's see. Step 24. Now it's easy to see that the text is centered inside the div element. Currently the width of the div element is specified in pixels. Change the width properties value to be 80% to make it 80% the width of its parents. Okay. So let's see. Currently the width of the div element is specified in pixels. Well, I just gotta see the code. Trying to scroll down. Alright, so one moment. So I think all we have to do in that situation is just say 80%. Oh. So then in that situation, that's what it does. So instead of putting pixels, which will give you an exact, how long it's going to be, you can make it relative to other elements. So this will make it, this div will now have the same width. That'll be 80% of its parent. So when you put the percentage, it's relative to the parent element. Going to the next challenge. Now you want to center the div horizontally. You could do this by setting its margin left and margin right properties to auto. Okay. Think of the margin as invisible space around an element. Using these two margin properties, center the div element within the body element. Okay, so as far as creating an attribute, margin left, make that auto. margin right, we make that auto. So it says, congratulations, the code passes. So now basically what it means is the same amount of distance is going to be on the left is going to be on the right, so it's directly in the center. So step 26, so far you've been using type selectors to style elements. A class selector is defined by a name with a dot directly in front of it like this. So now this is kind of where the last module is going to overlap with this module because we already did cover this, so this is kind of a little bit of review. So you would put dot class name, and then in it is going to be all the styles. Change the existing div element. Change the existing div selector into a class selector by replacing div with a class named menu. Okay. So basically we're going to make this a class. Where before it would affect every div. It would affect every div that would be in the code, but in this situation it would actually, you would have to invoke the menu class. Now I think what they're gonna go into is how to implement it so that you can use the class. But yeah, so we'll just kind of continue on. But that code passed. So now submit, go to the next challenge. To apply the class selector styling, yep. So now we're going to use it. To apply the classes selector, to apply the classes styling to the div element, add a class attribute to the div element's opening tag to set its value to menu. Okay, because we can still have a div element, we just now need to implement the class. Where's the div element? It's right here. Okay, this is a closing tag. This is a closing tag, and this is the opening tag. So here's the div. Here's the div. And we're adding a class attribute. So how do we do that? So now, effectively, we're doing the same thing. So now, now in this situation, the reason why you would want to have that, if we make another div, this class won't necessarily apply to that div because now it's based on the class. So I think that's what we were supposed to do. All right, the code passed. So now, instead of saying style all the divs this way, we're making it so that if it implements this particular class, then if it applies this particular class, then implement all these styles. Okay. To apply the class's styling to the div element, add a class attribute to the div element's opening tag. Set its value to menu. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I think I actually made a mistake here. One moment. I think I made some kind of syntax error. Not really sure. Oh, it did work. Okay. Yeah, because I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. Yeah. I don't know. That was strange. I didn't, uh, I didn't change my code, but now it worked. I don't know. Alright. So now next challenge. Step 28. Since the cafe's main product for sale is coffee, you could use an image of coffee beans for the background of that page. So delete the comment where its contents inside the body type selector. Now add the image background, the background image property, and set its value to this. So okay. So right now, because it's a cafe menu, we're gonna make the background image coffee and set its value to this. And I'm not 100% sure if I need quotes. I don't think I do. Alright, so now as you can see, that's the background. So this kind of shows the result of what we're building. And then this shows a code. Alright, so the code passes. So, yeah, I mean, this is the attribute. This is a value. So it's, whoops. So it's taking the image from this website and putting it here. Let's go to the next challenge. It's looking good. Time to start adding some menu items. Add an empty article element under the coffee heading. It will contain a flavor and price for each coffee you currently offer. Alright, one moment. Okay, so that's right here, this heading. Oh, this heading. My bad. Okay, so I think it just is wanting me to add an empty article heading, so that's it. And that's it. So I guess this is going to be where the menu is going to go. One moment. I'll be right back. Alright. Just want to check if everything's working. So article elements commonly contain multiple elements that have related information. In this case, it'll contain a coffee flavor, price of that flavor, and that's two P elements inside your article element. First one's text should be French vanilla, and the second text to $3. Okay. So let's just create the P elements. Alright, so now we're kind of beginning to build the menu. Mr. X a mod? Mr. X needs to be a mod. This will have a infinite amount of units. No. Alright. So, now the next step. Starting below the existing coffee price pair, add the following coffee and prices using article elements with 2 nested p elements inside each. As before, the first p elements text should contain the coffee flavor, and the second p elements text should contain the price. Alright, so I think it just wants us to kind of repeat that, use that understanding to create the rest of the menu. So let's do that. And I'm pretty sure we can just copy and paste this. So that's 1 more item. So we need 4 more. So, I mean, we need 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Of course, creating the rest of the menu. Well, actually, I could just rate 350. And for this, it's going to be hazelnut. That's going to be $4. It's kind of pricey. Well, I just want to make sure if I think I may have put an extra one, but let's see, one moment. Oh, okay. So there should be separate article elements. I did not realize that. Okay. So how many more article elements do we need? 1, 2, 3. I think there's 3 more, right? So, or just 2 more. So we're just going to put the paragraph code into here. And I think it needs one more. So it should just be this last one here. And that's it. And I kind of want to get rid of this empty space. Oh. There's an extra one. So I'm just going to get rid of this one because there's no need for it. And I believe that is what we were supposed to do. Should have 5 article elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we missing one? Oh, we're missing, yeah, we're missing actually a full one. I'm just gonna close this. We're missing this one. So copy. And the second one's going to see the price. Which is going to be $3.75. So we have 5 elements. Should work. Alright, so this one worked. Okay. Yeah, so it's kind of a bit of code there. But we're kind of creating this coffee menu from Step by Step, cafe website. Submit and go to next challenge. Alright, so the flavors and praises are currently stacked on top of each other and centered with their respective P elements. It would be nice if the flavor was on the left and the price was on the right. Yeah, because it kind of looks a little weird where, you know, we have French vanilla and then it's, I guess this is the price, and then we have the flavor, and then at the bottom we have the price. Usually it's the flavor to the left and then the price on the right. Right? So we're going to fix that. So add a class name flavor. To the French vanilla P element. Okay. So I think it's going to ask us to create a class that hasn't been created yet. To apply a class that hasn't been created yet. And we're calling it flavor. That's what I think it's going to do. Alright, so, yeah, cause we haven't created the class yet, but, um, I think the next tutorials are gonna have us build the class. Okay, so then we're gonna create it. And we're gonna apply this attribute, text align. Left. Now as you can see that it's now being applied. So now we're going to create a class named price. And I think that's all it asks us to do. So it's very step by step. Now align the text to the right. So yeah, so now we're going to create this. Now we're going to create this this class. Yeah, it looks kind of weird right now, but that's what it's asking us to do. So I think hopefully they're gonna fix it, have us do something so it looks more presentable. But that is what we were supposed to do because the test did pass. This is kind of what you want, but now it would be nice if the flavor and price were on the same line. P elements are block level elements, so they may take up the entire width of their parent element. To get them on the same line, you need to apply some styling to the P elements so they behave more like inline elements. Add a class attribute to the value item to the first article element under the copy heading. Okay. Get them on the same line, you need to apply some styling elements so they behave more like inline elements. Add a class attribute. Okay, so we're going to create another class, it looks like. Okay. Okay. Alright, the code passes. The P elements are nested in a article element with a class attribute item. You can style all the P elements nested anywhere in elements with a class named item like this. Okay. So believe that's what it wants us to do. So I think what it's saying here is all P elements that are within this item class are going to have this styling property. So how it generally works is what we kind of got rid of is when you make separate paragraph elements like this, they're going to inherently be on a different line because it's almost like pressing enter. So that's just how the paragraph elements behave. But if you give it a styling property to make it not do that, then it's going to be on the same line like this. So we're kind of beginning to make it look more presentable. Step closer. That's closer, but the price didn't stay over to the right. This is because inline block elements only take up the width of their content. To spread them out, add a width property to the flavor and price class selectors that have the value of 50% each. Okay, so again, this is gonna be based on the parents class. So it's 50% of what? Its parents class. Alright, the code passes. One moment. Okay. Let it not work. Styling the P elements as inline block and placing them on separate lines of code creates an extra space to the right of the P element, causing the second one to shift to the second line. One way to fix this is to make each P element's width a little less than 50%. Change the width value to 49% for each class to see what happens. Okay. So if you notice that difference, what does it do? It puts it on the second line. So when we have it 50% like this, it kind of brought us back to where it was on separate lines, which we didn't want. But then just by making it 49%, it fixes the entire issue. So that's what they're saying there. Congratulations, your code passed. Submit your code to continue. That worked, but there's still a little space on the right side. Yeah, so I think they're referring to this space. You could keep trying various percentages and widths. Instead, use the backspace key on your keyboard and move the P element with the class price next to the P element with the class flavor so they are on the same line in the editor. Trying to make sure I understand what they're saying. So I think they're just saying to put this on the same line. That's literally what they're asking us to do. Alright. Now go ahead and change both the flavor and price class widths to 50% again. Okay. So now that right space shouldn't be there. Okay, so now we have that result where it's not on a different line. So now it's not on a different line, but we can still make it 50% so that extra space is not there. Check your code. Congratulations, your code passes. Submit your code to continue. Now that you know it works, you can change the remaining article and P elements to match the first set. Start by adding the class item to the other article elements. Okay, but I think that's in styling, though. Alright, so now we're going to make everything look like this. That's pretty much what it's asking. So this will be class item. And this will be class flavor. Oh. One moment. Yeah, is it teacher or something? So right now we're just getting rid of spaces between these. Class item. It's just repeating the same steps on the other ones. So here we're getting rid of the white space. Oh, one moment, I made an error. So the article had a class item, and then the first paragraph had a class flavor, and the second had a class price. So this one's first is item. So this one should have been flavor. And this one should have been price. Yeah. So item, flavor, then price. Now this is the next one, so we're then gonna get rid of the space. Actually, I think we should just put in. We're actually just gonna put in the classes. And then get rid of the space. So I think that is it. Yep. So now it's looking more presentable like a menu. One moment. Oh, we're on the next tutorial. Okay. Next, position the other P elements on the same line with no space in between them. Oh, I think I jumped the gun because I think I already did that in the last tutorial to reset us back a little bit. But yeah, we can do that again. Not sure. Alright, code passes. To complete the styling, yeah. So I think I definitely jumped the gun because we already did all this. But yeah, now that they are already spaced, let's just do it. Kind of good for review. Flavor, price. Flavor. Price. Flavor. Price. And flavor, price. Congratulations, your code passes. Submit your code and continue. Make the width of the page preview smaller. You will notice at some point some of the text on the left starts wrapping around to the next line. This is because the width of the P elements on the left side can only take up to 50% of the space. Since you know the prices on the right have significantly fewer characters, change the flavor of it class with value to be 75% and the price class with class to be 25%. Okay. So we're making this width 75% and this width 25%. So I think what they're saying here is you can have, let's say, a very long flavor name, but, well, I'm trying to highlight that, but the prices are always going to be the same. It's going to be, you know, $3, 3.00, 3.75, 3.50, 4.00, 4.50. It's all going to be on the same line. So, I mean, it's all going to have the same amount of characters, but that's why they're kind of going to allocate more width to this one rather than this one and make it add up to 100%. Alright, step 46. You'll come back to styling the menu in a few steps, but for now, go ahead and add a second section element. Okay, so a section element below the first for displaying the desserts offered by the cafe. I think that's all they wanted us to do, right? Hold on. Yeah. Yep. So we already have the coffee menu. Now we're gonna make another one for the dessert menu. So add another H2 element for dessert. Alright. So we're kind of beginning to start to make that menu. Add an empty article element under the desserts heading. Give it a class attribute with the value item. Oh, okay. So these are classes we've already built. I think that's all it was asking us to do. Now add 2 P elements, so it's going to be the same thing. Make sure there's no space. Now we've done that. Oh. Okay, so we are going to make a separate class for dessert, okay. And I think we're gonna use the old class for price. Alright, the code passes. Some does not look great. You added the correct class attribute value to the P element with the donut as its text, but you have not defined a selector for it. Since the flavor class selector already has the properties you want, just add the dessert class name to it. Yeah, so right here, we're gonna create the dessert class. So it's gonna have the same attributes, so we just copy this in, and that should work. Should add the dessert. Okay, I think it's gonna have us do it another way. Okay, there we go. So we're applying so this is actually a more shorthand, but basically we've made a dessert class. We've made a dessert class by using the flavor class. So yeah, they wouldn't have done that way. Below the dessert you just added, add the rest of the desserts and the price using 3 more article elements. Each with 2 nested P elements. Each element should have the correct dessert and price text, and all of them have the correct classes. Alright, so I think we're just applying the class. Oh, okay. So it's giving us more. It's giving us more items. Okay. I think I'm just gonna copy this. I'm gonna change this price to $275. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I remember we're supposed to have separate article elements. Actually, how does it want us to do this? One moment. 3 more article elements. Alright, class dessert. This is gonna have the class item. Class price. Yeah, I just have to end the stream off. I might go live again later today.